All right, let's talk about trading. But forget everything you've probably seen online. Forget the Lamborghinis, the stacks of cash, the so-called secret strategies. We're going to dismantle that entire illusion and get down to what the real work actually is.
Just let that one sink in for a second. This is probably the first and most important truth you have to accept. What gets passed off as trading on social media, it's not trading. It's content creation. It's a performance designed to sell you something. The reality is, well, it's a whole different world.
And this lays that disconnect out perfectly. The illusion is all about being fast, exciting, and certain. It's all about making profits with some magic strategy. But the reality? It's slow. A lot of the time, it's incredibly repetitive. It's a business of managing total uncertainty, not finding certainty. And it's focused on your capital and your process, where the most common action is actually doing nothing at all.
I mean, this is the package you're being sold, right? Random rectangles drawn on charts, old concepts that just get renamed to sound new and exciting, recycled ideas that are pitched as some kind of hidden secret, and underlying it all is this feeling of fake certainty. But what's always missing from the picture? Any serious talk about risk, or drawdowns, or what happens when you lose. That part, it never makes it into the sales pitch.
All that marketing, all that fantasy, it all boils down to one central lie. And this is the lie that traps so many people. It's this beautiful, appealing, but totally false idea of a simple roadmap to wealth.
And here's that roadmap. You've seen it 1,000 times. Step 1, learn the secret. Step 2, get funded. Step 3, get rich. It's a brilliant marketing funnel because it's so simple, but it's also a dangerous fantasy that has almost nothing to do with the complex, non-linear reality of markets.
Because here's the hard truth. Markets don't follow a neat little map. They're chaotic, dynamic systems. Any statistical edge you find will eventually decay and disappear. There is no final destination. There's no point where you've figured it out and you can just relax. There's only the continuous, never-ending process of making decisions.
So that begs the question, right? If the roadmap is a lie, if there's no secret destination, then what is the actual job? What are we supposed to be doing? Let's ditch that old framework and build a new one based on the profession's reality.
This is it. This is the real definition. It's not a game, it's not a get-rich-quick scheme, it is a mentally demanding business. And the core skill isn't predicting the future, it's making the best possible decisions you can with information that is always incomplete. Over and over and over again.
And what does a day in that business actually look like? Well, for a professional, it looks a lot like this. It's overwhelmingly about waiting and observing and actively choosing to pass on trades. The primary job is managing risk and protecting the capital you already have. Actually clicking the buy or sell button, that's a tiny, tiny fraction of the work.
Now, to actually do that kind of work, to sit on your hands and wait, requires a huge shift in your thinking. This is what really separates the amateurs from the pros. You have to stop trying to make predictions and start focusing entirely on your process. This comparison says it all, really. The amateur is driven by their ego. They need to be right, and they're terrified of being wrong. They're chasing excitement, hunting for big profits. The professional has moved way beyond that. They fully expect to be wrong a lot. Their entire approach is built around planning to be wrong safely. They focus on position sizing and, above all else, preserving their capital. And yes, they learn to embrace being bored.
You have to burn this idea into your brain. Boredom is a feature, not a bug. If your process is sound, there are going to be long stretches of nothing. Your account might be flat for weeks. That's not a sign something is broken. It's a sign you're being disciplined. It's a feature of a healthy professional process.
And here's another huge mental shift. Losses are not mistakes. They're not personal failures. In the business of trading, losses are a planned, calculated, and totally expected cost of doing business. A restaurant has to buy ingredients to sell food. A trader has to spend a little capital on small losses to find the winners. It's just an operational expense.
All of this leads us to the ultimate goal, the real strategy. It's not about hitting one home run. The single most important objective is just to survive, to stay in the game long enough for your edge to actually play out over hundreds of trades.
So think about it like this. The stuff on the left, setups, indicators, even whole strategies, that's all disposable. It's temporary. It will eventually stop working. The stuff on the right, your process, your risk controls, your discipline, that's permanent. That's your foundation. If a strategy dies but your foundation is solid, you'll survive. You'll just find a new one.
This is the core principle
of professional risk management. Write it down. No single trade, no matter how perfect it looks, is ever worth risking your ability to be here to trade tomorrow. Protecting your ability to stay in the game is the whole game.
So you have to be crystal clear on what the market actually rewards. It does not care how much effort you put in, it doesn't care how confident you are, and it definitely doesn't care how pretty your charts are. The market only rewards 3 things: discipline, consistent risk control, and sheer time in the game. That's it.
Now, after hearing all that, it should be pretty clear that this line of work is not for everyone, and it's really important to be honest with yourself about whether it's right for you.
So let's be blunt. If you're looking for fast money, this isn't it. If you need guarantees or certainty, you're in the wrong place. And if you need constant excitement, if you're chasing those little dopamine hits of being in the action, this profession is going to make you miserable.
Deciding to do this for real isn't something you just drift into. It is a conscious, deliberate choice to embrace things that most people spend their entire lives trying to avoid: constant discomfort, deep uncertainty, and progress that is often painfully, agonizingly slow.
And so we end with the only question that really matters. Now that you've seen the reality, the boredom, the discipline, the focus on survival over ego, you have to ask yourself honestly, is this really for you? It's a question only you can answer.